Most major downtown Minneapolis office buildings have more in common than just location. It's likely that at some point in time, they were sold by Darrel Holt. During his career, Darrel Holt sold 15 shopping centers and brokered about 30 purchases of downtown Minneapolis properties, one of the best brokerage records in the history of Minneapolis.
Well, I think the thing to remember about Darrel Holt is that at one time in the 70s, he, the toll company, managed, sold, leased, or appraised every significant building in downtown Minneapolis. He was Mr. Downtown Real Estate.
Darrel Holt began his career working as a real estate agent and manager of a leasing department in Indiana before moving to Minnesota in 1944 to work for Toll Real Estate as a sales manager. He was quickly promoted and in 1951 became a co-owner of the company.
Well, I remember appraising the IDS Center with Darrel Holt. Now, Darrel was an interesting guy, as many of you know, and he had a way of expressing things. For instance, if he saw a new building completed and he didn't like the architecture, he would say something like, well, you know, the owner didn't get all he paid for.
Darrel Holt, sensational. How lucky of a guy was I? I was 22 years old, got out of the university, didn't know anything. Darrel hires me to work for the toll company. I was 22 years old. And what a stroke of good luck for me. He was the best mentor a person could ever have. He was smart. He taught me about real estate. He also taught me about how to kind of act like a professional, highest ethical standards, brilliant guy, a taskmaster to work for. But he was a great influence on my life.
Not only is Darrel Holt respected for his real estate acumen, he's known for his personal integrity and the standards he set. Today, Cassidy Turley, formerly Toll Real Estate, continues the tradition established by Darrel Holt.
Darrel Holt's legacy for our firm is best summed up in what we refer to as the Cassidy Turley Edge. This includes exceptional results for our clients, and Darrel did this through market knowledge, expertise, and thought leadership. He was also dedicated to his community, both internally, where he led by example, showed respect for and appreciation for others, and exemplified high ethical values. He did it externally as well, where he gave of his time, talent, and treasures. This resulted in growing his company. He grew his company by offering property management, commercial leasing, and sales. This all resulted in an energizing workplace and a legacy we still honor at Cassidy Turley today.
Darrel, as an individual, was a classic. He liked driving Jaguar cars. He liked having formal tea with his wife, Betty, at upscale hotels around the world. And he was an accomplished sailor. He had his sailboat at the Apostle Island and in Lake Pepin in the later years. And he was a very good tennis player, and he represented the United States as the ambassador on the country-to-country matches.
Over and over, Darrel Holt's peers remember him as a mentor.
And I always tell college students now, they say, well, I'm going to look for a job. And I say, you know what? The pay and the benefits aren't that important when you're starting out. Go find a place where you'll have a great mentor or mentors to work with, and it'll pay dividends for you forever. You know, remember that from Darrel Holt, because he was the best.
Since 1987, in Minneapolis, we've recognized his heritage with the Darrel Holt Edge Award, our highest level of employee recognition. This award is given to that employee that most reflects our core values at Cassidy Turley.
Well, I think he'd be particularly pleased, and I think it's well deserved, because he was the important commercial real estate person in Minneapolis.
It's been 47 years since I worked with Darrel, since he hired me. It was the best decision I ever made. And to this day, I always, when I get in a transaction or negotiation, I'm thinking about what am I going to do. I say, what would Darrel do here? And I invariably do what he would do, and it's always worked out. Congratulations, Darrel. Welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Hall of Fame.
Please congratulate Darrel Holt, award recipient of the 2011 Minnesota Real Estate Hall of Fame.